We go to California, Los Angeles that is.
We suck again!
Foreign people from a foreign land
Hold up.
waving foreign flags,
Wait a minute.
claiming rights to a country that they have no right to be in,
Something ain't right.
and burn it to the ground.
Yes, of course. You stupid fuck!
I'm Jasper Gonzo on this. Gee, this looks awfully familiar, like those mostly peaceful protests back in 2020.
Which were largely peaceful demonstrations in the—
Shut the fuck up!
But it's what's next. What's up, everyone? Jasper Gonzo, what's next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Monday. And of course, I have a tendency to say, new day, new week, and new bullshit. And this past weekend, there's plenty of bullshit. Lots of it, tons of it. You're wearing hip boots because of it. What am I talking about? It's the summer. It's the lovely summer. It's the lovely summer of love. Remember that? Remember the summer of love? Take a trip on the way back to 2020 when we had that wonderful summer of love. You know, they were mostly peaceful protests and $5 billion worth of damages, half a dozen cities burned, cops getting shot, cops getting ended, people getting thrown out of their houses, stores looted, people getting robbed, and stores and police departments getting burned to the ground. Well, then there's this past weekend. And here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. Deranged. Gavin Newsom, trash governor. Yes. Moron, idiot, buffoon, fumes as Trump federalizes the National Guard, threatens to deploy Marines to quell anti-ICE riots. Gee, again, looks awfully awfully familiar. California Governor Gavin Newsom took his frustrations to social media on Saturday as President Donald Trump federalized 2,000 California National Guard troops to quell anti-ICE riots in L.A. Trump said the National Guard in 2 days after a riot in which black-clad radicals attacked federal law enforcement officials who were arresting illegal aliens in the city. And Los Angeles. Far-left rioters have surrounded ICE facility and are launching explosive devices as they escalate the violence for a second night in their insurrection against the federal government. Now remember, kids, mostly peaceful protests. Assholery at its finest. The rioters set fire to cars, tagged federal buildings with graffiti, and attacked federal officers. Caroline Leavitt. In recent days, of course, she is the chief of staff. Not chief of staff, she's the chief spokesman for the president. In recent days, violent mobs have attacked ICE officers and federal law enforcement agents carrying out basic deportation operations in LA. These operations are essential to halting and reversing the invasion of illegal morons and criminals into the United States. City and state officials did little to stop the violence, shocking, other than offer their support for immigrants and criticizing the Trump administration. Gee, did you expect anything less? No. Newsom are furious, especially after the administration hinted that the Marines, too, could be deployed. Pete Hegseth, of course, he is the Secretary of Defense. The violent mob assaults on ICE and federal law enforcement are designed to prevent removal of illegal aliens from our soil, a dangerous invasion facilitated by the criminal cartels, aka foreign terrorist organizations, and are a huge national security risk. And don't forget, it was our part of dementia. Yes. Governor Gavin Newsom. The federal government is taking over the California National Guard to deploy 2,000 soldiers in Los Angeles. Not because there's a shortage of law enforcement. No. It's not that. But because they want a spectacle. Don't give them one. Never use violence. Speak out peacefully. Again, Gavin Newsom. Secretary of Defense is now threatening to deploy active duty Marines on American soil against its own citizens. This is deranged behavior. Jennifer Seibel Newsom. I'm assuming this is the wife of Gavin. These sweeps in Los Angeles and across the country are heartbreaking. They were staged to inflame and to intimidate. They instill fear in immigrant families. Californians work hard, pay taxes, and are essential to life at the heart of our state, weaponizing protests to justify. There's more, but I really don't care. Newsom did little to stop the rise in 2020. Again, more shocking all, when Black Lives Matter activists rioting trashed the city for days. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security shared the video footage of violent protests and rioting when people spray painted anti-police and ICE sediments on cars, signs, and buildings. The violence targeting the law enforcement in Los Angeles as lawless protesters is despicable. These men and women work hard every day, putting their lives on the line to protect and defend the lives of American citizens. Mayor Bass, again, another worthless piece of shit. ICE is not responsible for sowing this sense of terror. The protesters you enabled are, the agency wrote.
Outrage that this has happened. Of course, what happened here, I think, was probably the worst. There were...
Oh, this is the wonderful Mayor Karen Bass. And Karen fits her to a T.
A number of locations where ICE raided today. And, you know, to me, when these things happen, it sows a sense of terror in the community. It's bad enough that it happened at this location, but the way this goes and spreads throughout the community, then people are not sure where they're safe.
Aw, really? More video footage shows protesters accusing police officers of collaborating with ICE agents. Julio Rojas, who works for ICE. Works for the Blaze. Anti-ICE protesters yelling at Los Angeles police officers for collaborating with ICE. Caption on the post says this is proving sanctuary cities are a lie and made up by Democrats to fool the working class.
You're LAPD, you're not supposed to collaborate with ICE. Why are you collaborating with ICE? Why are you collaborating with ICE?
Now, the woman who's saying, why are you collaborating with ICE? I guarantee you she had that looked that up in the dictionary to know what collaborating actually means. In addition, another clips show more of chaos and sea of protesters marching down the street. Of course, let's see. Stephen Miller calls the anti-ICE riots in Los Angeles an insurrection against the laws and sovereignty of the United States. Over 800 rioters trapped DHS agents in a garage and breached the building, causing much damage. You always know there's assholes among us, but when you see them in live and living color, yeah.
I'm Giovanna Lotta. You're taking a live look at one of the protests underway in Los Angeles just a few hours after the mass immigration raids. Chris Christie is live in Air 7 with the latest.
Of course, and there was an update. President Trump posted his approval of the National Guard activities overnight on Truth Social. Quote by the president, great job of the National Guard, Los Angeles, after 2 days of violence, clash and unrest. We have an incompetent governor, facts, new scum, and Mayor Bass, who were, as usual, just look how they handle the fires, and now they're very slow in permitting disaster. Federal permitting is complete. Unable to handle the task, these radical left protests by investigators and often paid troublemakers, yes, I guarantee you a lot of them were paid monies, will not be tolerated. But before we go, one more, and this is also coming from X, and of course this is the lovely, look at that, peaceful. I mean, remember, they're mostly and mainly peaceful protests right there. A guy who has probably no rights to be in this country, waving a flag that is not of this country and should be thrown the fuck out. Actually, where are the fire hoses? That's just me. Anyway, and of course, this lovely reporter from Australia flew all the way to LA to cover these mostly peaceful protests and gets more than what she bargained for.
Rubber bullets of protesters moving them on through the heart of LA. Shut the fuck up. Rubber bullets of protesters moving them on.
Yes, if you didn't get that, she got shot by LA police with a rubber bullet. My thoughts. I'm going to cut this down a little bit, but pretty much you get the gists. Again, for those who don't remember, for you youngsters, not old heads, for you youngsters who don't remember the rioting in 1991, because it was Rodney King who started it all with Can't We Just Get Along, while he was getting beaten by LA cops. And of course, kicked off the wonderful Summer of Love, that version 1.0, back in 91, where of course you had Korean shooters rooftopping, Korean barbecue, which I would hope would make a comeback this time around. Anyway, that's just me. But when you had the 91 riots, and then we had the 2020, the lovely summer, peaceful summer of love, 2.0, where of course you had a St. George, mysteriously died. And of course, all hell broke loose. Like I said in the beginning of this video, $5 billion worth of damage, over 24 cities burned, cops shot, cops ended, people shot, people ended, stores robbed, stores looted, stores burned to the ground, and also throw in one police department. They got burnt down to the ground as well. So this is 2 days of this nonsense. And I'm glad that Trump basically federalized the National Guard, because you knew Gavin Newsom was not going to do it. That piece of shit of a governor was not going to do it. Piece of shit of a mayor, Karen Bass, was not going to do it. For those who don't know, fun fact, that it is illegal for LA cops to be, working with ICE officials. No, you can't do that. It's illegal for, prosecutions of stolen merchandise, if it's under $1,000. That's a California law. And of course, those lovely sanctuary city policies that have done the state wondrous, marvels, over the many, many years. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Absolute ridiculous. To me, I'm really surprised. I'm glad that Trump did what he did, and basically federalizing the National Guard, the Marine National Guard, to basically send them in and quell this bullshit, because it absolutely needs to be done. I would have been coming in with fire hoses. That would have just been me, and it would have been like Detroit all over again. These motherfuckers who have no rights to this country, none. Dudes, guys, gals, if you love Mexico so much, go the fuck back. Oh, no, we can't do that because we won't be able to suck the teat off the states. But that's just me. Total ridiculous. Assholes. Absolute assholery, like I said earlier, at its finest. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you next time. Peace.